Hello there, this is Heirs to the Kingdom channel, and today's lesson we're finishing up Zephaniah chapter 3, finishing up the book. There's only 3 chapters in this, and so there's only 20 verses. It's going to be a short reading. If you are new to this is a Bible study channel. I do recommend starting off at Genesis chapter 1 and getting caught up. I said if you want to know the Bible more, I do recommend doing that. So I'm going to apologize to the rest that follow on a normal basis because these next couple of days I'm going to be late doing videos because people in their fireworks and my dogs are afraid of them. So they're just now starting to go outside and use the bathroom because of all the popping and stuff. They've been afraid. When you got 4 dogs, the lightest one is 40 pounds. The heaviest one is a little over 100 pounds. And they're all trying to be in your lap and around you while you're trying to do everything. It makes for a fun evening. So as of right now, it's supposed to be late enough at night that no one's supposed to be making noises now. But, you know, of course, there's always normally somebody that will still do it even late at night because I ain't got to go to work tomorrow. Who cares? And so I hope that doesn't happen. If it does happen, my dog's going to go a little ballistic during this video. So this video is going to be a little short. So I'm going to go ahead and get started in here. And not really trying to rush God's word, but the situation kind of calls for a straightforward reading. I've talked a lot in the last few videos about things, about the direction the world's going in and stuff like that. And even here, if you're already pre-reading, you're going to see the exact same thing that I've been talking about in this. The title of this one is Jerusalem's Danger. Now, this chapter could be to the end times. The end time Revelation sounds like this very thing as well. Parts of it. It falls under who you are as a Christian, a person. So in here, you're talking about, you see the word she, and she could represent a city and or people, not just women, but also men. And so, my dog's already making noise, being all happy, coming in, shaking. I still got the little one. He's stuck in the kennel right now, been afraid. Didn't want to mess in the house. Anyways, talking about my dogs. Sorry about that, but yeah, Jerusalem's danger. Finishing up Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 1. As we go through this, I'll talk about them. Woe to her that is filthy and polluted, to the oppressing city. Now here you have to the oppressing city. Now woe to her could be a person and the city that oppresses the person. And so also, as said, we know here that normally from what they say, this is also talking about the city, that the city is being called a her as well. But this also falls into people. I'll explain as we go through. Verse 2. She obeyed not the voice, she received not correction. She trusted not in the Lord, she drew not near to her God. That could be a woman, it could be a man, it could be a society. Of course, we know we're primarily talking about the land of Israel here, but still, even in today's time, you know, this is still applies. Verse 3. Her princes within her are roaring lions. Now, this part right here, the princes within the city or the princes within yourself. Everybody has parts of themselves that rule their decision making, rule what they do, how they live, what they go through in life. So inside your body, there's princes and judges and kings and whatever else you can think of as some type of leadership. You know, your body has those same things inside of it in your mind and in your heart. You know, which one is leading you type thing. Is it a prince of Christ or a prince of the world? Your judgment that you're judging your life on and how you do things? Is it worldly judgment, or is it God's type of judgment? Are you ruling your life on? So I'm going to restart verse 3 with that knowledge there. Her princes within her are roaring lions. Her judges are evening wolves. They gnaw not the bones to till the marrow. Her prophets are light and treacherous persons. Her priests have polluted the sanctuary. They have done violence to the law. Now, what law are we under today? We're under the second covenant law, commandments and statutes. We're not under the Israelite law, but we're still under commandments and statutes. Always have been and always will be. Now, of course, same thing. Your priest. Your religious leading. Leading you religiously, is it following God or following the world? Because your body is the sanctuary. And are you letting the world pollute this God's sanctuary, which is your body, or are you trying to keep it clean and tidy, for the Lord lives there? Let's continue on here, verse 5. That's the end of that part talking about there. So now we're going on here. The just Lord is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. Yeah, how many have seen these pride parades, this, that, and the other? The unjust going out there walking around butt naked and this, that, and the other. And women that today always trying to go out there showing their bodies off and stuff. And they think they're beautiful princesses, and to God, they're just worldly whores. That's how they dress, and that's what they're going to be judged by. But men's in that category too. Don't worry, it ain't just women. It's just the world itself. A lot of people think that, they have no shame in the unjustness that they do. Whatever sin that is, whatever worldliness that is. Let's continue on verse 6. I have cut off the nations, their towers are desolate. I made their streets waste, that none passeth by. Their cities are destroyed, so that there is no man, that there is none inhabitant. Now, this stuff also sounds like the end times, but of course we know we're talking about Israel here. Now, in the end times, God's going to remove all the wicked, everybody from the world, except his people and his city. That's all that's going to be left. This is how we're going to live in peace after the world's made anew. Let's continue on here, verse 7. I said, surely thou wilt fear me. Thou wilt receive instruction, so their dwelling should not be cut off. Howsoever I punished them. But they rose early and corrupted all their doings. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. I said, that sounds just like Revelation. So I think there's a mixture of end-time revelation in here, also with Israel being made new again after coming out of captivity of Babylon. Verse 9. For then will I turn to the people a pure language. That's why I keep feeling that this part right here is talking about the end times, as the other ones always seem like they're talking about the end times, because there's only going to be one language, and it's God's language. And, everybody will speak the same language. There will be no more foreign tongues or this, that, and the other. Everybody, in heaven and the new world is going to speak one language. So, let's continue on there. That they may all call upon the name of the Lord, to serve him with one consent. From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my supplements, even the daughter of my dispersed, shall bring mine offering. In that day shalt thou not be ashamed for all thy doings, wherein thou hast transgressed against me. For then will I take away out of the midst of thee them that rejoice in thy pride, and thou shalt no more be haughty because of my holy mountain. And in the end times, God says he's coming back with his city on his mount, on Mount Zion, renaming it Beulah. So, I said, all this stuff right here sounds just like in end times. And I wonder if Zephaniah had visions of both and didn't know how to separate the two. I'm not sure. Because in the end part, it does say specifically about the, Israel being made a nation again, coming back into their land and stuff like that. But let's continue on here, verse 12. I will also leave in the midst of thee an afflicted and poor people, and they shall trust in the name of the Lord. The remnant of Israel shall not do iniquity, nor speak lies, neither shall a deceitful tongue be found in their mouth. For they shall feed and lie down, and none shall make them afraid. I said, once again, this stuff sounds like the end times here, because as long as you're on this earth, you're going to have problems with worldliness, the sinful flesh, and other nations, and even your neighbors. Let's continue on 14. Sing, O daughter of Zion, shout, O Israel, be glad and rejoice with all the heart, O daughter of Jerusalem. The Lord hath taken away thy judgments, he hath cast out thine enemy. The King of Israel, even the Lord, is in the midst of thee. Thou shalt not see evil any more. And so, as I said, that's a hard thing to promise unless evil's been removed from the planet. Continue on 16. In that day it shall be said to Jerusalem, fear thou not, and to Zion, let not thine hands be slack. I'm sitting there reading that, I'm like, man, that didn't make no sense. I'm like, oh, I said the wrong word. 17. The Lord thy God in the midst of thee is mighty. He will save. He will rejoice over thee with joy. He will rest in his love. He will joy over thee with singing. I will gather them that are sorrowful for the solemn assembly. Who are thee, to whom the reproach of it was a burden? Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halteth, and gather her that was driven out, and I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. So this sounds like of course, not the end times, but the returning of the Israelites back into their land. And the last verse. At that time will I bring you again, even in the time that I gather you, for I will make you a name and a praising among all people of the earth, when I turn back your captivity before your eyes, saith the Lord. And that's the end. I said, the middle part stuff, I'm sitting there like, I said, there's too much of that stuff that sounds like Revelation in there. And so I still think somewhere in there, the stuff that Zephaniah was talking about, coming from God, his visions was mixing up both of them. What the end times will be like, how the people will be judged, warning people, hey, don't be this type of person. Cities, don't be this type. Societies, nations, whatever, don't be this type. Follow the Lord, or woe unto you. I said, there's so much in there that it could be for everything. And so I kind of like this chapter here, Zephaniah chapter 3, just for that alone. But yeah, I said this was. I like it. I don't think there's any part of the Bible I don't like. But except when reading about how evil people are to one another. But then also, I've been a soldier, been deployed to foreign lands and stuff, and I've seen with my own eyes the devastation of how, evil people can be to innocent people. And the fact that abortions are still legal. But that's the end of this lesson today. And I'm going to go ahead and end this. So remember to pray. Pray, pray, pray. Always pray. Pray for the lost, the found, yourself, others. Pray for nations. Pray for leaders. And I ain't gonna, I never say pray that they are blessed in their wickedness. Pray that they quit being wicked. If we can get the leaders start following God again, then the trickle down effect happens there to where the people start following God again, because monkey see, monkey do. People follow their leadership. If their leadership is wicked, the people start being wicked too. Not all of them, but most of them. So we got to pray about these things. And don't forget to always give God the glory and thanks for everything in your life. And who you are as a person. When you're doing good, God gets the glory. When you're using your earthly talents and people say how good of a worker you are doing that, remember, give God the glory. It ain't you. God gave you that talent. So, I always give God the glory. Except when you do wrong. That's not God's doing. That's just being a part of the world and us being weak. One day, I can't remember which disciple it is, but he said, it's going to be a great day to cast off this sinful flesh body and be with perfect righteousness, to be with the Lord and no longer dealing with this sinful flesh. And that's going to be a great day. And I can't even imagine it, because over 50 years of living on this world dealing with this type of stuff, it's, it becomes a normal. And it's like, is there any other way out there trying to live? Seeing the world and what all it's become, and even how America is falling. I'm hoping we change things, but I heard the big beautiful bill passed, and a lot of it to me is garbage. It's stuff that shouldn't be in there, and the stuff that should be in there was taken out, and some stuff that should be in there was never even mentioned. I heard, they're going to remove the inheritance tax. I'm like, property tax should never not exist either. The reason why most families lost all their farms is because they couldn't afford the property tax. And there's like, well, we're going to get rid of the inheritance tax. You should get rid of all the taxes. The only thing we should do is receive a bill for national defense. Not a tax, a bill. And who don't pay the bill is drafted and serves in the military. But, I don't know. They got all these people clapping and praising. I'm like, what are you talking about? We got screwed. It's like, anyways. I do feel the Republicans just assured that most of them are going to lose their positions come, and we got about a little over a year. There's going to be another election for part of the Senate and House and stuff like that. I think the Democrats now, because of just this alone, is going to get control of House and Senate, all of Congress. And so the president will be by himself once again, because they keep doing stuff that they want to do instead of what we want them to do. I don't know. It's like none of them listen. We are tired of bills, and we want each law passed individually. Quit writing bills. Quit shoving a bunch of crap in one thing and then passing it, so we're stuck with some good stuff and a lot of bad stuff. That's how it's always been. That's why our nation keeps falling apart. you do stuff individually, then none of the bad stuff gets in and only the good stuff gets through. Well, I mean, the stuff we want anyways. But politicians have always been crooked. There's a saying that they've earned, says you're as crooked as a politician, or you lie like a politician. Trust me, these people have earned it. That's not being a bad stereotype. That is just being accurate. So pray for nations, because all of them need it. It's becoming a dog-eat-dog world everywhere, and they ain't nothing but satanicness right there, living in an area or having to live in an area like that, because you're either going to suffer a horrible life or turn worldly so you can survive in it. So, like I said, always pray. So, until next time, God bless, good night, and goodbye.